Hey, it's Project I Want to Live, and I'm Melissa.
And I'm Vanna. So Melissa and I were talking earlier, and we had this amazing conversation because that's what we do before we record our videos. We talk, we discuss, and then we're like, crap! We should have recorded that!
That's the video! Why didn't we just press play?
But unfortunately, we didn't. No. So we're going to do our best to recreate that moment, but really share with you what's going on. And the reason why I say that is because we are right now in a very critical point of the journey. In videos before, we may have kind of spoke about being in a little bit of a plateau and, the progress is not as steady as it was before. And we really spoke about that. And Melissa has been struggling with a few things lately, and I want her to elaborate on that. But the main thing that I really want to display is that we're still here. We're still going. We haven't stopped. And we were looking at our recordings of like the weight and the measurements, and right now we're like struggling with like the scale thing because her scale readings are like really weird. So we're like, okay, we have to go to the gym and like weigh in there. But anywho, we were looking at all of the recorded measurements and weigh-ins, and I just thought about it. I said, who cares that you're not at the goal yet? You're not that person anymore. The person that weighed 235, the person that weighed 250, the person that had a 49-inch waist, whatever the measurement was, like that's not you. And I think that's really necessary to speak about because what she's feeling and what she's going through is something that so many people experience but will never talk about and will never know that it is a critical point in their journey. So please go into detail as much as you can about what you've been dealing with.
I told her earlier, I was like, I feel like I'm crazy because you can do a better visual for me, like what I do like with the mirror.
So, oh yeah, so this is what she does. She'll go in the mirror. Oh my God, I'm so fat. People are going to think I'm so fat. Literally, wait a minute, before you continue, we had some friends over her house last night, and she's like, oh, Vanna, come here, I got to show you something. I was like, oh, okay. So I go in the room, and she's like, do I look fat? So just a little example of what we've been going through.
I do the opposite, which is,
oh my God, I'm amazing. Whatever.
Wow, look at how small.
Look at this. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So.
It happens.
I mean, not to be redundant or repetitive, but I know people tune into this video blog at different points. Some from the beginning, some just tuning in recently, but we recorded this to go through the whole journey of what it's like to lose 100 pounds. And it's so crazy because I keep having these moments where I'm just like, like it's like on the outside, I know other people and I appreciate all the praise. I really do about how far I've come and whatnot. But it's so hard when in the inside, you are in this like crazy battle because I can literally appreciate the journey and how far I've come, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. But then there's times where I just can't get over it. I just can't understand like why the hell it's so fucking hard. I just don't get it. And I think a lot of people that struggle with weight deal with that because it's not just about discipline or about getting all the bad foods. It's a mental struggle when you identify with being someone for so long. And then when you want to go to a certain place and you're just not getting there, it's just like, well, what do you do? And I really feel like, especially like lately, I'm just like fighting my inner demons, fighting my inner voices. Because my voices tell me like you're not gonna do it, you're not making it, you're so far, like you're messing up, you've made mistakes, like you're a failure. And then I'll listen to some meditation and I'm just like, your thoughts become things, your thoughts become true. And I'm like, oh my God, my thoughts are making me into this crazy person. So the question is, what do you do about it? And that's what we were talking about. And she made me realize, she's like, you don't get it. You're fighting. You're still going. And that's the hard struggle. I don't know. Maybe you can help me elaborate. I feel kind of crazy right now.
Well, yeah. The point is that I'm trying to make to her is that she hasn't stopped. Instead of being in a place of, oh my God, I haven't made progress in a year. Things haven't changed as quickly as they did in a year like last year or the year before. Who cares? She has gone through a place where inwardly she was feeling depressed because of these things. She wasn't getting sleep. She was in and out of a job. You know, a lot of things were stressing her. So isn't that everyone? Don't all people go through that? Maybe different, you know,
types of stress
and things like that. But at the end of the day, when you're stressed out, this is a true example of what it does to your body, to your mind, to how you feel about yourself, to how you view yourself. You know, we've been, going to different gatherings where we'll see people that we haven't seen in a while. And she's so focused on what they think of her. Oh my God, this person's staring at me. Does it mean that they think I'm fat? No. I said, if anything, they probably are thinking about who you were before and that you're not that person anymore. I don't think people really care about, whether you lost a pound consistently over the last year. You are no longer that person. And that's what I'm trying to, bring out to her. At the end of the day, you say, oh, thank you, God, for, allowing me to be where I am today and not going back and keep fighting. I told her, I said, I think right now you're fighting more than you have ever fought in this journey because this is the hardest time. The hardest time. And again, a lot of people will go through a weight loss journey or whatever journey they're going through, and they hit that place where they're just fighting so hard and they're not getting what they want. And what do? They go back. And things don't change. So appreciate.
The moral is I need to set it free. I've been so caught up on, since November of 2014, I haven't lost any weight. And I undermined the amount of stress I was going through all the stuff. And then I wasn't sleeping. And then I am too busy trying to put on a good face for everybody else. And then at the same time, our mission is to inspire other people. So then I felt like I was letting people down. But at the end, this is the inspiration to be open about these deep, dark things, to share my inner crazy thoughts that I know many of you have. Like, when you're just working so hard and you just don't get why, it's just you're not getting what you want. So I would have loved to have been already 100 pounds down, but I'm not yet. So that means I have two choices: to give up and become 250 pounds again, or I just keep moving forward. So the things that I'm going to do to continue to work on myself is go back to the basics. We talked about this a little bit before, but I really am working on my self-talk. I'm listening to meditations to reprogram my mind, because when you tell yourself you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're fat, you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you start to believe it. And I don't believe that. I'm going to get there. We're going to get there. I've been working out consistently. I'm back to meal prepping, and I just got to do everything I need to do to keep going, and the results are going to come. But she wanted me to really talk about this because I felt like really embarrassed and really afraid and really like psycho almost, because I just was just so stuck, and sometimes you have to really just like release it. But we are excited about where we're going as a project. I mean, health and fitness and self-love is our passion, and doing things like our boot camp to showcase the love of exercise. I mean, I was so afraid to exercise before. I was so afraid of judgment. I was so afraid to do things like that because I would have those crazy thoughts. Like, I've always wanted to play volleyball, but I never played because I was afraid of like my fat jumping up and down and people staring at me. And like, those are all the things that people are afraid of. And we're doing this boot camp just to like kind of give back and to show our love for change and for health. So hopefully in the next upcoming videos, we'll start kind of like a refresh and do the countdown to hitting the goal. But the crazy thing is then it's not even done at that point. So this is going to be a lifelong journey, and I'm going to have ups, I'm going to have lows, and so aren't you. But the fight must go on. So I promise you,
yes,
I'm going to fight and get through this craziness right now.
Yes, you will.
That is it.
That is it. We're going to do this. So, and I'm
keep
proud
going.
of you.
Keep going.
You're going to keep going. I just want to let you know that I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
And you're going to do this.
Thank you.
I looked her straight in the eyes when I said that.
She did.
Because I believe it. Well, that's all we have.